World governments are losing their minds, or are they? Honestly, that is what most people think right now as things are ratcheting up between wars and rumors of wars. And right now, I believe that governments around the world are putting out a coordinated attack against you, and they're going to do it through your pocketbook. They are planning events around the world to cause things that you need every day to skyrocket in price. And what we're going to talk today is about energy. Right now, energy is hyperinflating around the world, and it is literally singularly due to events that are going around the world politically. Let's use the last couple of years' news events to put this picture together for you. Let's start with what happened when Biden took office. On January 20th, Joe Biden took the oath of office to become the 46th president of the United States of America. He asked in his acceptance speech for Americans to unify. He pledged that his administration will create good paying union jobs as they clean up the environment. And that is the number one point we want to make today. In the world of cleaner environment, cleaner energy, what you don't realize is that you are being squeezed. You are going to see continued prices going up in oil, natural gas, and electricity. It says here on January 27th, President Biden issued executive orders which did just the opposite. He revoked the federal permit for the continued construction of the Keystone XL pipeline, which cost 11,000 jobs. 8,000 of those, which were union jobs. And he temporarily stopped granting permits for oil and gas operations on federal land, which will reduce US oil production, and was immediately challenged with a lawsuit. So, one of his first acts as president of the United States was to take away our energy independence, thus putting us at the mercy of Saudi Arabia and OPEC Plus. Look at what just happened with Saudi Arabia on April 2nd. Saudi Arabia announced the biggest cut among OPEC members at 500,000 barrels a day. The cuts are in addition to a reduction announced last October that infuriated the Biden administration. Let me know below if you think that the Biden administration knew exactly what they were doing when they took us away from energy independence and put us in the care or lack thereof of Saudi Arabia and OPEC. We all know that Saudi Arabia has walked away from their 50-year agreement with the US to sell their oil in US dollars. They have now gotten together with China, which there is the problem right there. Right now, China is the number one producer of lithium batteries around the world. Things are going green, whether we like it or not. World governments are trying to push this new green initiative on us, and it is going to cost us dearly. Check this out of Zero Hedge. One factor that consistently arises in the fight over climate change mandates is the increasing need for energy clashing with deliberate cuts to the means of production. Establishment elites want restricted energy access for the public, and they want people to pay more for each slice of the ever shrinking pie. A perfect example of this dynamic is the widespread effort by such governments to shut down nuclear power plants, one of the cleanest forms of energy we have from the standpoint of carbon emissions. We've seen places like California outlaw wood burning fireplaces. The facts of the matter are, whether you like it or not, the world is trying to force you into poverty and scare you into going green. So I want to start looking at those kind of avenues and see what is available in the future. Now, I have some more news, but I want to thank today's sponsor, and today's sponsor is Pan American Energy Corp. I'm going to put their information up here in the corner. I want to thank them for that. We're going to get to them later in this video, but I have a lot of news to go over. So right now, China is the number one producer of lithium ion batteries. They are also trying to literally dominate the world's lithium production, lithium purchasing, lithium ownership. So a couple of months ago, one of the largest find in the world was just found. Well, here's the problem. And this is a story right here entitled "Huge Lithium Find May End World Shortage," but there's a catch. And it says, oh wait, it's in Iran. Lithium, sometimes hyped as white gold, has been highly sought after for its role in battery production and other things. The White House last year said critical minerals, rare earth metals, lithium, and cobalt are essential to our national security and economic prosperity. Alas, for the US, the latest cache of its malleable metal has turned up in Iran, one of just 4 countries America has designated a state sponsor of terrorism. What do you think is going to happen? Nothing. We're not going to be able to enjoy this. But guess who's going to? Check this out. The reserve is said to be 8.5 million metric tons of lithium, which, if accurate, would be among the largest known deposits ever discovered in history. According to the US Geological Survey, the top 5 identified lithium reserves are Bolivia, Argentina, Chile, Australia, and China. Lithium is used not just in car batteries, but in also battery-powered defense equipment, among other things. Lithium batteries are found in nearly every weapon system used in the US Department of Defense, particularly for portable equipment. Think about it. Right now, we are trying to become more and more sophisticated in our defense equipment arena. The need for lithium is very crucial, not only for the usability of this equipment, but also the quiet, the silence. So now let's talk about the economics. Over the past 2 years, the price of lithium has surged, leading to talks of shortages. Global consumption of lithium in 2022, according to the US Geological Survey, was 134 tons, representing an increase of 41% from 95,000 tons in 2021. But in the past 3 months, lithium prices in China have fallen, according to the Financial Times, due to weaker than expected electric car sales. As of January, China, a major lithium producer and consumer, stopped subsidizing electric cars, leading to higher prices and reduced demand. And the price of lithium is expected to decline further this year. I completely agree with this. Right now, as the world wants to go to this new green revolution, the facts are the technology is expanding. It's getting better and better for battery technology. It's getting shorter to charge. They're holding charges longer. The facts are the facts that battery technology is light years ahead today than what it was just a mere 5-10 years ago. What is China going to do with all of this? China needs to source this. The world's economies are splitting into two. So what are they going to do? Check this out. This just came out the other day from Reuters. Chinese lithium producers set price floor as demand evaporates, sources say. China's top lithium producers agreed this week to set a floor price of 250,000 yuan or $36,000 per ton of lithium carbonate. We are literally watching a price war, an actual war to get the material, and we're literally talking about a possible war between the US and China. So now let's talk about today's sponsor, because what's important to know about today's sponsor is they're an exploration company looking for lithium in America, Pan American Energy Corp. The ticker on the CSE is PNRG, and on the OTC in America, it is PAANF. Being in North America, these are some interesting times because right now, I believe that we are behind. America is totally behind other countries trying to find strategic metals and minerals for the use in this industry. According to the International Energy Agency, global demand could increase over 40 times for lithium in 2040 or by 2040. If countries stick to their Paris Agreement targets to reduce planet heating emissions, an initiative that would most likely spark several new mining operations across the US and in Canada. What I want people to understand is that right now, Western civilizations, both Europe, the US, and Canada, are hell-bent on continuing this green initiative to find sources of energy outside of the traditional nuclear power and oil and gas power. It says the US Department of Energy announced that it is investing $2.8 billion in grants to expand domestic manufacturing of batteries for electric vehicles and the electric grid. Ford, Tesla, and General Motors will need about 900,000 tons of lithium from the United States and Canada to meet domestic production demands if demand for electric cars takes off as projected. But I also want to remind you that President Biden just signed into law that certain tax credits will no longer be available for companies like Volkswagen, Nissan, and even Rivian, because of where the vehicles are manufactured and where the materials are sourced from. Now, EVs sending lithium demand into overdrive. We all know through the charts that the demand for electric vehicles is rising more and more every single day. So let's talk about 8 different reasons that Pan American Energy Corp is set up ripe for the picking in North America. This is from their website. I'll put the link down below if you'd like to take a look at it. But first off, they wanted to point out that they have a diversified asset base of brine, hard rock, which is LCT, pegmatite, and claystone. Projects are adjacent to industry peers with verified preliminary resources. Its Nevada project borders American Battery Technologies' Tonopah Flats project. Domestic sources of battery metals are a national priority. Between different acts like the Defense Production Act, Mineral Security Partnership, Inflation Reduction Act, and Critical Minerals Strategy proves that the US government is trying to position American companies first, American mining opportunities first over outside this country. Discoveries by leading lithium geologists such as Foster Wilson, one of the most well-known names in project generation and oversight in claystone lithium applications. Currently, right now, the company is in phase 1 of its drilling program, which is a 22-hole drill program currently underway at the Horizon Lithium project. Historical project samples have yielded economically recoverable resources, and that's very important. When you're talking about, you could have all the lithium in the ground out there, but if it costs too much to get in there and mine it out, it's not worth it. For instance, Emerald Field Resources drilling program on the Big Mac project revealed the potential for 325,000 tons of petalite, with an opportunity to triple that with additional exploration drilling. And lastly, they have a world-class management team with over 50 years of combined experience in resource extraction and capital raising. Their CEO has more than a decade of experience in chemical and technology business development in North and South America. Now, with all investments, you have to do your due diligence, and I want to encourage you to do that. But I do believe that it is very important that if you're going to invest in lithium projects, because I invest in lithium projects, to invest in the right countries. You need countries that are mining friendly. And to say that Nevada is not only a friendly state in the country, but being in the US and North America, watching how the White House right now is making sure that they put North American mining operations first when it comes to mining these critical strategic metals like lithium. Putting that first, I think, is very, very important. So I want to thank today's sponsor. Thank you so much for today's video, guys. I think today's highlights of the news are very important to go over. And the reason why is because we're seeing that push. We're seeing countries do things to stress out their citizens, cause the price of energy to go up, and they're going to put them into a position where they eventually purchase these electric vehicles, electric tools, and electric whatevers. We're gonna eventually, they already have electric airplanes flying people around. This stuff is working right now. The fact of the matter is, the world is going to lithium and battery power. The other question is, are you gonna be ahead of the race before these prices gap up again? I hope you guys got something from this. The Economic Ninja is out.